Friends, if you're interested in the latest news in immigration, watch this video. In this one, I have several things to cover with you guys. We're going to talk about the border travel restrictions between US and Canada and Mexico. We're also going to talk about ICE. ICE is hot on the trail, guys, and I have some announcements to make, some updates to make regarding ICE and their efforts to apprehend people. We're also going to talk about OPT. OPT is the government is cracking down on OPT, so we're going to touch on that. Also, I have some really important updates for DV winners, DV 2020 winners. Stick around all the way until the end, DV 2020 people, so that you can get some important updates about where things are with the lawsuit Gomez v. Trump. And last but certainly not least, we're going to talk about the proclamation, the presidential proclamation, as it relates to family, the family-based process. So let's get into it. Firstly, friends, border travel restrictions. As you guys know, since March, and again, this is my virtual whiteboard over here, but since March of this year, the borders at the northern part of the country and the southern part of the country have been closed to non-essential land crossings or travel. And so the policy was recently extended through November 21st. And again, this applies to land crossings at the Canadian and Mexican border. Next, friends, ICE. ICE, I did an update recently, and I'm going to link to it here as well so that you guys can go back and watch that video. But ICE have announced that they are in the process of moving forward with the expedited removal policy. Remember, friends, I talked about that, the fact that they are now going after individuals who have been in the U.S. less than 2 years. And if they apprehend an individual who has been here less than 2 years, who does not have documents to prove that they've been here for at least 2 years, then those individuals are at risk of being removed from the country without seeing a judge or going through due process. And so go back, watch that video that I did recently on this topic. I dive into some very important parts of it, including who they're really targeting and why some people should not be fearful of this new policy. So what else is going on with ICE, friends? Well, CNN just reported out that they have some sort of internal memorandum from ICE that says that ICE is now also going to be targeting individuals who had accepted voluntary departure in immigration court but had not yet left the United States. And according to this memorandum, this operation is called Operation Broken Promise. And so I have not seen the memorandum myself, and there is no press statement from ICE about this operation. But according to CNN, and I'm going to pull up the article here so that you guys can see it, and I'm going to link to it below as well. But according to CNN, ICE is looking to target these individuals who have agreed that on a certain date they were going to leave the United States, and this is an agreement between them and the U.S. government, and they have not departed from the U.S. So if I have more details about that issue, I will be sure to let you guys know. Next, OPT, guys, the optional practical training program that allows foreign students to work. The government is actually cracking down on some students with OPT. Just recently, an article came out which indicated that about 1,100 students with OPT will lose their OPT. In fact, just this week, 700 recipients received letters from the government indicating that their OPT will be revoked. 400 other individuals are also not going to have their OPT extended. Why not? Because the government is alleging that these students are committing fraud or have committed fraud. Just to put this in context, friends, about 220,000 students currently have OPT, and so the government has found 1,100 have violated the terms of the program and committed fraud, such as not working in their field or program, or other individuals who indicated that they are working but for some fraudulent company, a company that does not exist. So 15 individuals, according to this article, 15 individuals were arrested for claiming that they were employed by companies that don't exist. So that's what's happening with OPT. Now let's shift gears to international for a moment here. DV 2020 winners. As you guys know, and I've reported out a number of times about the presidential proclamation, the same judge ruled that 9,095 visas will be reserved for the DV 2020 class for processing after September 30th. So after the fiscal year ended, these individuals are able to get their visa. However, none of the processing can happen and no visa can be issued to these 9,000 individuals until the lawsuit ends and ends favorably for the plaintiffs. Now, how long is it going to take before the embassies are able to process these 9,000 visas? Well, according to a FAQ that was issued by the lawyers in the lawsuit, they're estimating, friends, that the lawsuit is going to take another several months. And so, again, the visas cannot be issued or processed, I should say, until this lawsuit has come to an end and end favorably for the plaintiffs. Now, according to the FAQs, this lawsuit covers all DV 2020 winners. You're already part of this class if you had not yet received your immigrant visa before September 30th. So you're part of this class. So the question from the FAQ is, if the Gomez DV 2020 class wins a final judgment, how will the 9,095 visas be processed? Answer: we assume but cannot be sure that the State Department will process the 9,095 visas in numerical order by diversity visa confirmation number and subject to country caps. Now, I'm going to link below to this press release because within it there's another link which tells you that if you're a DV 2020 class member, you can sign up for more information and updates about this lawsuit. So guys, I do encourage you to sign up for those updates. Now, last but not least, families. What's going on with the proclamation that's barring so many family members from coming to the United States right now? The latest update that I do want to share with you very briefly is that there is a lawsuit that is pending in San Francisco, and some of you have even mentioned it a number of times to me below in the comments. What about this lawsuit that I'm hearing about in San Francisco? So this lawsuit was actually filed, friends, on October 14th in San Francisco, and it is still pending. I don't really have much of an update to share with you in terms of the progress of this lawsuit, but I do want you guys to know that the lawsuit names quite a bit of individuals who are petitioners, who are impacted by the family separation policy that the proclamation has put in place, and it is asking for an injunction on the proclamation. So I will keep you guys posted on that effort, but as of today, the proclamation is still in place, is still in effect until December 31st of this year. And so I've been telling many of you during consultations that if Trump is reelected president, then there's a strong likelihood that he will extend this proclamation into 2021. So let's watch the elections here in the US very carefully to see what the outcome is. Friends, I hope you found this video helpful. Be sure to share it with other people. Like this video. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way until the end. Go ahead and subscribe and then hit also the notification bell so that you'll be the first to get my videos each week. Guys, thanks so much again, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.